Hi, I'm Aaron Harper, CEO of Rolling Suds. Today, I'm meeting up with Nick Heye. Nick is franchisee number 5, and his business is an example for the 62 franchisees that have joined us since. I'll be flying into DC and Northern Virginia to catch up with Nick and see how the past year has treated him. We'll get a chance to visit a job site, watch his team in action, and maybe he'll even let me play with the power washer. I'm glad you're here to join me, so let's go have some fun.
Hey, Aaron, how are you?
Nick.
Come on in.
Good to see
What's
you.
going on, man?
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Excited to be here.
We're here in Northern Virginia with Nick Heye, one of our best and brightest franchisees.
Thank you very much for coming to my home.
Nick, you're one of our first franchisees. You've had 2 businesses before. Talk to me a little bit about your background.
My formal education's in personal finance. Left that in my mid-20s, went and got involved with a business that's very similar to franchising. So I kind of ran a model that existed, built that business up, and then eventually left that last year. And then franchising seemed like a great idea. I'm used to running kind of a business that has some type of structure and rules in place. And I think that's the hard part about franchising, is choosing the right home that fits your skill set. That's kind of how I got here.
You had mentioned earlier when we were talking about some of the high highs and some of the low lows. I think it's important for anyone who's thinking about business ownership to kind of understand what that looks like.
Yeah, we've had some really great success with some very large projects and contracts, but the way I kind of think about that is not necessarily these huge things that you get to pull off once or twice. It's the reoccurring revenue, but also the relationship building, right? If we're gonna do this a long time, and it's a key part of the Rolling Suds model is a relationship. So us building those and obviously seeing an upward trajectory and where those are taking us, referrals, repeat business, that type of thing is a really big deal. So that's kind of our highest highs. Lowest lows have been, some of the dwellings and stuff we were in. And then, obviously you're an employer. So employees have their own lives. They get hurt, sick outside of work. And it also means that at times I'm jumping on the crew to make sure our quality is where I need it to be and where the company needs to be. It also, sometimes there's no one else to do it other than me.
So we're in September 2024 now. Where did you think you were going to be last year, a year later, and how does that relate to kind of where you're at now?
I started off so slow. The newer franchisees have got it made as far as I'm concerned. But after a whole year, I think I'm ahead of where I thought I would be a little bit, but it's really exciting to see where we could go moving forward and what the possibilities of this are.
And you've expanded twice now, bought an additional truck. Can you talk about kind of what led to that decision?
Yeah, I think I started to be able to tell where a lot of my business was coming from. I noticed how fast we were growing and wanted to make sure that I had the area that I wanted to have, so I could build what I wanted to build. The trucks are maximized. In fact, one runs every single night and then does shopping centers at night.
Talk a little bit about like the size and scale and the scope of what you're doing versus like some of the competitors in the market.
Yeah, so I think we have a very large advantage in just the amount of water and equipment that we're carrying. And all that really gives us is capacity. A lot of what grows this type of business is capacity and your ability to do more in less time. And that might not matter so much on the residential side, but it does on the commercial side. So I'm able to clean shopping centers at night that require us to bring our own water. So I can bring, with my 2 trucks, 1,800 gallons of water to meet capacity if required. And so right now I have about 25 shopping centers that we do a month.
And how has been being part of a community, of franchisees helped kind of you grow into your business where you're at, like just being part of a community?
So a lot of what I was able to skip is, the actual construction of our trucks, the branding, the websites, a lot of the marketing has been taken off my hands, which is nice. And a lot of those little nitty-gritty things, I call it playing house. But I get to just go out and do work as opposed to setting this business up. And as we continue to grow, that network continues to get bigger and we can all solve problems very quickly and move forward. And that's something that you just don't get if you're building a business outside of this. And like, I can't talk to how much that really means at the end of the day when you're tired and exhausted and you're dealing with something that you're just kind of stuck on, and somebody, you just put it into a chat and some guy's like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. You're like, oh, amazing, because I don't. And as a business owner, you're worried about so many things. What that really lets you do is, and if you know me, this is true, sell.
Yeah.
You get to do the top of the funnel activities that continue to drive business, and I get to keep building this business bigger and bigger, as opposed to constantly getting stuck on individual little parts of this that are a part of owning something, but I get to skip it.
Right.
As being part of a franchisee.
So Nick, we've got some power washing to do today, right?
We do. We're gonna go head out to a country club and take care of some cleaning after their camps and everything else that they had going on this summer. So we're gonna head on out and get that place cleaned up for them.
You think they'll let me play with the power washer?
Probably not.
All right, let's go.
All right, Nick, where are we headed?
Brentwood.
Brentwood.
Country Club.
Okay.
We're gonna go head out there and take care of them.
Let's go power wash some buildings. So how did you develop this relationship at this country club? Tell me about that.
I grew up golfing, and the general manager is kind of an easygoing type of guy, someone I relate to, and we kind of hit it off. He gave me a shot, and I also kind of made a unique model for him, is that we'll work the entire day for him for one fee. We don't do it based off the project like we might normally do. And that fits his mold. That's how he's worked with contractors prior.
Yep.
But it also allows him to just call.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry. We'll just get it done. Sometimes we have a better margin than others. Sometimes their projects are easier or way harder. It's a nice way for him to just be able to trust us and know that his project's going to get taken care of and completed correctly. And it's a nice way to, fit into someone's business the way they fit into mine.
Right?
Good to meet you. Such to meet you.
Yeah, I've heard so much about you.
Oh man, that's hopefully good things. Of course.
Great things, yeah.
I like that. I like that.
So, so what are we doing today?
So I got some paint removals I'm doing on these tables right here.
Okay.
So I have a chemical, Mark Sharp. It's usually a graffiti remover, but
Yeah.
we get things done over here.
Good.
So
Good.
I just do a pre-wetted down surface, and I go in, put this on there, just a cat fill,
Yep.
scrub it out, clean it, keep it moving.
So how long you been with Rolling Suds?
I've been with Rolling Suds for about 4 months.
Nice.
4 or 5 months. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
How's it going so far?
Oh man, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah. Like I like change the scenery. What
Sure.
I'm saying? I don't like being in the same place every single day.
Right.
So gives me that, opportunity. So right now, what I do first is I pull my hose, pressure hose right here. It's about 100 feet. Then since I already looked at the 2-story building, I'm choosing to use my long gun with my shooter to reach the higher spots. Then as I get lower, I'll change over to a wide shooter that will help cover more space and go through quickly.
Some bird droppings on the windows, and then the building just needs to be cleaned real quick.
So set the stage. How big is this building? How long do you think it'll take for a Rolling Suds franchisee to do?
It's 2 stories. This will take us about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Probably take somebody else about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
This is probably a 5,000 square foot building-ish.
Yeah, right around that.
Be doing it in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready to show me how this thing works? All right. We've got our shooter tip on here, right?
Our shooter tip currently. I'm
All right.
changing now to our wider pressure.
Okay.
All right, Aaron. You're gonna take the gun right here. This is your trigger.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just like any old gun at the carnival.
All
You play
right.
the water gun game, right?
All right, is this how I do it?
Aim and shoot. There you go. You're gonna get a little bit closer up there.
You gotta get closer. All right.
There we go. We're on there.
This thing's got some.
Got some kick to
It's
it.
got some kick
A little
to
bit
it.
of recoil on
Woo!
there. Uh-huh.
Woo! Woo!
And I thought you said you couldn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, listen. All I gotta do is aim and shoot.
Good for me. There we go.
All right, I'll let
I
you
look
get
like
back
you
to
have
it.
too much fun.
Yeah, I'll be here all day. All right, so Nick, we just wrapped up the job. Tell us what we just did.
We did a 5,000 square foot building in about 10 or 15 minutes. Quick soft wash and rinse, and we're on our way.
Can you talk to me a little bit about kind of the home office support, you know, the communication between you and kind of the corporate team at Rolling Suds, and how that's been in terms of helping you with your business?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think it's one of those things that you kind of get into franchising for. And the nice part about like how you've laid out your company, Rolling Suds, is that we have direct contact with the powers that be within the company. So they're only a text message or a direct message away. And we can get the information that we need to kind of solve whatever issues we might be having. Which is a really big deal, man. You know, like you're paying a royalty. That's how, you know, franchising works. But we have the support that's almost immediate on like very hard questions that are, you know, not always, I would not know the answer to without you guys.
Right. Big one.
You've entered the parking lot for your destination.
Yeah, we're taking a look at a church today, local church, going ahead and write a proposal up for their 2025 budget.
Awesome. Let's get looking at it.
Yeah, let's check it out.
So I see something over there. Let's go take a look, and I'd love to learn more about your process for estimating.
Yeah, sure. So the first thing I really want to see is it looks like we got two different types of material here. One's just a little aluminum. This one's like almost like a sandstone brick, cobblestone. What I want to do on this is kind of like a soft wash. This will come right out. So what I'm really thinking about when we look at this kind of thing is what the material is. I'm pretty versed on how long that's going to take to clean. And basically as we go around this and we see the different areas, how hard it would it be for a competitor to do it? How long is it going to take me? I don't do anything off of square feet, not really. Maybe if it's a super competitive situation, for me it's time.
Okay.
It makes us cheaper. I know how fast my guys move, and that's the biggest part of my process.
Awesome. What kind of time do you think this is going to take?
Yeah, we looked at the materials that we're actually going to be cleaning. One of them in particular is a little harder than not, so it does add some time to it, and we do need full strength soap. So when I go ahead and look at that, I also have some upper stuff that's a little higher, it's like in the second or third floor. That gives us a competitive advantage because we can clean up there without getting on the roof or, you know, making a mess. So we're really looking around like 2 to 3 days. That third day though, where we're gonna talk about hitting those things that are up higher, we do have a competitive advantage there. I'm gonna price that a little higher than I would normally. So we're really looking around like $5,000 to $7,000. Knowing me, I'll fall in at $6,000. And I'll have some add-ons.
Yeah.
We saw some different materials. We saw some rust that we can clean up. We saw some foundational leaching, some acid that got into the foundation. So there's a whole bunch of different stuff that we'll be able to clean up. And we'll include them as add-ons, see what they think. But we want to make sure that we get this proposal out to them and meet their final concerns.
All right, Nick, so we've talked a lot about work. We've talked a lot about this amazing business that you're building. Talk to me about what do you like to do? Yeah, in my free time, obviously when I get off work, I take Cooper here for a walk around the waterfront here. On Wednesdays and Thursdays, I play sports in the city, a couple hours, back home. It's awesome. And I get back to work. I play softball and beach volley. Oh, that's cool. Past that, I'd like to be on the water. Obviously, I chose this place to live for a reason. Go boating a lot, play a lot of golf, network, and hang out with my friends and do the whole thing. That's great. That's awesome. You clearly have built this amazing life, and we're so honored to have you as a Rolling Suds franchisee. Let's head back to the house, wrap up the day. Sounds good. Let's do it. Cool.
Now that I'm back home, I've had time to reflect on my visit with Nick. Watching him and his team in action reminded me why we started Rolling Suds. It's not just about the power washing, it's about the people and their drive to succeed. Nick's success is a testament to that. Looking back, it's clear that these personal stories are what make our franchise so special. I'm grateful to be a part of it. Thanks for joining me on this trip, and I can't wait to share what's next.